welcome, my fellow trackers. I am the man who's not here, apparently. I'll work on that right after this intro. I'm Nick Metzger, and my partner that you can see is right above me. His name's Sean. Great guy. He's my co-host from the UK. That's right. We're going to be talking mostly about a partner preview here. Partners. And we got a couple of news stories, but really it's just all about the Xbox thing that just dropped the partner preview. So, why not just get going so we can get on into that, because I'm kind of excited because I really just watched it. So, Sean, man, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Didn't you disappear? We had everything set up and then you disappeared last week.
Yeah. I don't know. I got to figure that out.
I'm assuming it's something to do with it's possibly to do with the scene switch for the intro.
Maybe.
That's my assumption.
I like it. That probably makes sense. We'll work on that. I'm back now, though, so we're good. Just every once in a while, I'll just disappear, and then I come back. So, yeah.
Just like Donut County. There you go. The game that's released back today on Game Pass News. On the Game Pass subscription service.
Okay.
Wow. That's
pasty from the pasty. There it is.
I'm good. I'd like to say I can give people a new update, but I can't. It's exactly the same. It's fat, it's painful, and it's causing me to not be able to sit down properly. Well, there you go.
It's like my dashboard update. It's like, yeah, I'm still playing Core Keeper. Have a nice day. Come back again. See you later.
So no, other than that, it's good. We're rounded up. I think the kids are off school as of the end of next week, so they're excited about that. I'm excited about that too. Nice. We're taking Rex to the seaside this weekend. Hi. Yeah, I'm talking about you. It's Lindsay's mum's husband's 70th birthday this weekend, and they're stopping away somewhere, so we're going to go visit them where they're stopping, and we're allowed to take Rex. Cool. No, we had to make sure where they were someone he was allowed to come, because some places have like a no animals policy. Mm-hmm. So that's this weekend. Oh, and we're going to Costco. We signed up to Costco, which I don't know if that's like a big thing for you guys over there.
No, not so much.
But over here, I'm super excited. It's like a massive. It's like our version of Walmart. Apart from we have to sign up for it and pay for a card, a membership to go get a thing. But it's like you can go and bulk buy stuff. So
yeah, we have them. It's just not really that big of a they're like 30 minutes away for us. So I mean, I guess it would be a bit of a thing. But
it's probably not much of a big deal for us. But I've just never been to one, so I'm super excited because I got to go buy all the stuff.
Luckily, your vehicle is only
just
so
walk
big.
Around.
Otherwise, I just feel like you would come back with you would be sitting on toilet paper on the next podcast. You'd be like, "We bought 75 rolls, boxes of toilet paper."
I'm the king of the loo roll.
That's right. Logan's just
this is now my
Nintendo on three boxes of toilet paper.
So. But no, I don't know. I think the thing that we're most excited for is fuel's really cheap there. It's like 4 pence cheaper there than anywhere else. Sweet. So we're going and we're going to fill the car well with it, which is we don't have sad stuff for people to be excited about. Look, when you're a dad, this is the kind of shit you get excited about.
I get to go to Costco.
Welcome to middle age, everybody. Welcome to middle age.
I can't wait to go to Costco. There's this is gonna date me because nobody who actually watches this is gonna know what the hell this is. The Brady Bunch used to a vacation used to be going to the Sears or something like that. I know everybody's like, what the hell is the Brady Bunch and what the hell is Sears? Anyways, moving on. We picked up
one of the reasons why I'm super excited.
Oh, go ahead.
One of the reasons why I'm super excited is we went to a family event at the weekend, and one of our family members, Lindsay's uncle, he now runs a catering business, and he did the catering for the event, which was really nice, really good food. Nice. But one of the things he had was this really nice coleslaw. It was made up of chopped up broccoli and edamame beans, had cashew nuts in it and stuff like that. It's really nice honey kind of dressing on, and I ate far too much of that. Well, it wasn't unhealthy, but I ate a lot of it. And when I asked him, how do you make it? I want the recipe because I want I'm going to use it for food prep. After December, I'm going on trying to go on a big cut to try and lose some body fat. So I wanted the recipe so I can make it. It's oh no, I get it from Costco. I looked at him, looked at Lindsay, and went, looks like we're going to Costco. So yeah, that's one of the main reasons. It's one of the reasons why I'm excited, because I can get to go have this coleslaw and find out exactly
cool
the macros behind it, so I can kind of work it into meal prep for after December.
Nice. So you're planning on doing this diet after December? Is that your plan?
Yeah, I've been trying to build strength and like muscle mass up until up until December, which kind of gives me a bit of grace of what I can eat. I can eat a bit more because I'm trying to pump the calories in a little bit more. Obviously, I can't do any cardio to balance it out, so it's kind of slowed down, and I've like wound back on the calories as such, but up the protein to try and build lean mass underneath what's already here. And then as of the end of December, I'm at like 22% body fat at the moment. I want to kind of trim that down if I can for like springtime and get it down to 18%, and then
Sweet.
That should yeah. So I have plans. I've made adjustments really slowly throughout the year. Joe, who I go to the gym with, he's been kind of following a similar program, but he's like trying to gain size as well as strength, and he's doing really awesome. In fact, like the other night, we went to see Punk Rock Factory perform live, and he sent me some photos. Like he'd been to the train. He does events and speaking and stuff like that, but he works doing other things as well. He'd been to do this speech, and on the way back, he was like sat on the train in his shirt, and he kind of caught a glimpse of himself in the reflection of the mirror, and he like could see all the muscles, like the tone of his muscles through his shirt, and he's really excited. So he's sending me like, a text saying, thanks very much for working with me and like just coming to the gym and the social side of it and things like that, which was really nice, and we kind of support each other in that way. So it's been good fun.
Cool, that's awesome. He's like looking into the dang. He's like, dang. I wish I could be like that guy over there. He's really ripped. I mean, he's like that dude. Oh shit, that's me.
How are you doing?
That's me. Oh man, I'm doing good. Yeah. So what's going on? Oh, that's what I was gonna say. We went pumpkin picking on the way home from Ariel's soccer game. That was fun. Big old like pumpkin patchy farm where you could do all kinds of random stuff, from like shoot apples out of some like air-fired gun in a corn maze and jump on some gigantic trampoline thing, and they called it the rat race, which is actually kind of fun. They put a huge irrigation tube on ball bearings so you could spin it around, and like so the kids were trying to like hold themselves up so they could get spun around. Noah fell on his head, but I mean, better than I would have done. So whatever. I'm not complaining.
Is he okay?
Yeah, he's fine. I mean, he is now. So yeah, he wasn't then, but he is now. So all kind of stuff. There's a gigantic barn filled with corn kernels, and you could just like it was like a kernel pit, I guess is what you'd call it, like instead of a sand pit. So yeah, we had a lot of fun. So, and then we bought pumpkins, which we've yet to carve because life's crazy, and I don't really know when we're going to do that. But we are going to do it at some point. That's the plan.
I'm looking forward to this because I tried my dab hand at carving, and you are a lot better than I am, and you do come out with some very, very cool designs.
Oh, stop it! Now they're going to see it and they're going to be like, "Oh shit, that's what he's talking about." Oh man, don't hype this up. Like that's not going to work. But I mean, I do like doing it. I've always said if I could do anything in the world, I would love to like work at one of the not that I couldn't do this, but I don't think I'd get paid enough to actually do this. Edible creation places, like I could just like carve fruit into little stars and stuff like that. That'd be great. I'd have a lot of fun with that. That's really random and dumb, but that's my life. So.
Hey, look, if you win that $1 million from the Microsoft sweepstake from last week, it's something you could do.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny you say that. Phil hit me up. He emailed me. I'm sure it was him personally, and said, "Hey, you still have a free entry." And so I was like, "Thanks, Phil." So I went out and got my free entry. So now I'm entered 3 times. So I don't know how I could lose.
I think your free entry grants you 5 entries.
Well, how the hell? I don't understand. It said I've entered 3 times. How did I enter what? Maybe the free entry is just 1. I don't know.
No, okay. I thought I read it that the free entry, when you triggered the free entry, it put your name in 6 times, kind of thing.
Our main social man's on the chat, Brian McHenry, live and in.
Say hi to him.
Live and in chat. Sure, live and in chat. What you doing, man? Live and in
chat. You were going to say live and in person.
I don't know. Whatever. Don't think about this too hard, Sean.
I know. But so yeah. Anyway, so I hope you all went and did the free one and use some of your points. Yeah. I think I told a couple.
Well,
of people.
No. I need this $1 million so I can be an edible creation. So nobody should go do it except for me. Come on. Throw me a bone, Sean. I'm just kidding.
Sorry. Should we make a start into the top stories?
Oh yeah. We should probably do a show. That's a good idea.
Oh yeah, cool. So before we do, as always, a little bit of housekeeping up front. You can find us on pretty much every social networking app that's out there. If you're watching us live right now, you know about it. But if you don't, and you're listening to this audio, and you're like, where can I meet these guys? Where can I reach out to them? Everything is at VGT Gaming News. Have any thoughts, any questions? We do have a public Discord. The link will be in the bio and somewhere, or if you go to any of the social media sites, you can find the link there. That takes you to a public Discord where there's over 2,000 members. I think it's getting close to 2,500 now, which is quite nice. You can chat with anybody else, all those people there, as well as myself, Nick, Brian, who's in the chat, all the other social media members and stuff like that. They're all in there talking about what they're playing and basically how they're doing. If you like what you're hearing and you're listening to this via an audio podcast app, have a look through it. You can leave reviews, you can leave stars, do that. Helps us grow, helps us beat the algorithm and get a little bit higher and get noticed, which is always really, really nice. And we wouldn't be a Game Pass show if we weren't promoting the Big Daddy itself. We called it its Big Daddy for a while. That's always been a play on Bioshock. I might need to change what else we call it. If we wanted about promoting the Master Chief himself, Xbox Game Pass. If you love Game Pass and you love the show and you want to show your support, you can head to a link, which is also in the description. It does sometimes appear in the chat. You can sign up to Game Pass via the Xbox.com website following that link. Not only will you be supporting us, the Game Pass Tracker show, and the team, VGT Gaming News, but you'll also be signing up to the best gaming subscription going, which is, of course, Xbox Game Pass. So sign up to whatever level you desire via car, standard, PC, Game Pass, or Game Pass Ultimate, which is my absolute favorite. Just go and play your game by using the code in the chat or the show notes. And that'll help us continue to create this awesome content that we love to make for you guys. So, with all the housekeeping and everything done up front, let's go into the X feed.
The X feed's where we talk about the top stories that we got this week. We really got 3. You could lose a hand and a half and still be able to say you have 3 stories. That's it. Well, no, not a hand and a half. A little bit less than a hand and a half. A hand and 2 fingers.
You now got me thinking about hands and fingers.
Yeah, I was like, oh, no, that's only 2.5. We have 3 stories. Damn it. If we only had 2.5, I would have been right. Well, anyways.
Well, we have 2 stories. Each one has sub-stories. 2.5. There you go.
Fair point. Fair point. What has happened? I should have never brought math into this equation. It was a horrible idea. I take it. I take full responsibility. Xbox first story of the 2.5 stories that we have. No, I'm sorry. The 3 stories that we have. Xbox Cloud Gaming will reportedly let you stream your own games very soon. So what? This is games you bought?
That is correct. Yes.
Well, hi-ho. Look at that. That's pretty sweet.
It is. It's. I think it's almost as good at. It's almost going on the idea of is it remote play that the PlayStation has? I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Where you can play your own game as long as it's through the console.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is you can play anywhere, so you don't need the console at home. Doesn't need to switch on. It's just going to use the cloud network, which is great. It's like, you're sat there, you have your backbone with you. Maybe you're on holiday and you're like, there's nothing really that's dropped on Game Pass this week that speaks to me. It happens to all of us. They drop such a great selection of genres that sometimes it just doesn't resonate with you. So you're like, I'm going to go and play, I want to go play this game that I bought. And for me, it'd be like Skate 3. Let's just stick some time into Skate 3. So, fire up the cloud application on the phone, pair the controller to it. Off you go. You're playing a game that you have purchased that isn't just on a subscription service, which I think is brilliant. Does weigh into a little bit of the digital ownership kind of deal that people argue about often. Do you own the game or do you just own a license to the game, and that license can be removed digitally at any time if they decide to take that game from their service? But
yeah, I think that that ship has already sailed. So, I mean, you can argue about whether the ship is going to sail, but when you're sitting on the dock and the ship is gone, you're like, well, okay, I guess doesn't really matter anymore. So it is important, I think, to note here, this is somewhat of like a rumor. Like, it's not 100%. It says
No, it's growing arms and legs, and there seems to be more evidence coming out that this is what's going to happen.
It has a hand and a half already growing onto it. I believe. I'm sorry. Tom Warren says, I'm told Microsoft will first test its new xCloud gaming streaming. I'm told Microsoft will first test its new Xbox Cloud gaming streaming capabilities with Xbox insiders in November before expanding them to more Xbox users and more games. So there you go.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
great,
it's fun.
An awesome step in the right direction for cloud gaming.
Yeah. So here's a great thing. Like, if Core Keeper leaves, because everything goes back to Core Keeper. If Core Keeper leaves, like xCloud and Game Pass, if this was already going, I could buy Core Keeper and still stream it on my phone. But I wouldn't do that at work for sure. But I could do it other places.
For sure.
For sure. So no, that's really cool. I mean, I would think you would sell a lot more games this way. So
yeah, you would.
Yeah.
And it really leans into that play games anywhere, anytime. We always loop back to what Phil says. He wants people to be able to get to their games, play them anywhere, anytime on whatever device you have. So, I mean, this is going to be awesome for people that own a MetaQuest. It's like you have a MetaQuest 3, you stick the headset on, you launch the cloud thing, you can set the TV to whatever size you want. It's got spatial audio. Sit down, play these games. Freaking awesome. I
kind of forgot about that feature that they added, to be honest.
And it's a built app. It's not like you're doing it through a web page. It is an application it's
not like an iPhone, is what you're saying.
It's not like an iPhone. I think people on Android, I think there's something coming with that where it's a purpose-built app now for people on Android.
Yeah, so an Xbox will start selling games directly on Android, on the Android app. And it's an actual app starting as of this November. That is not a rumor. That is a factoid fact.
I thought, look at that. Factoid facts. That's your third star. That takes us to Free Thinkers.
Look at that. This is like Elden Ring at this point. All about the fingers. Okay. More evidence. Okay, whatever. Micro's second story. Microsoft's new Xbox Series X and S consoles are available starting today, which was 2 days ago. So October 17th. So it started October 15th, though.
Yep.
Yay. These are too expensive, Sean.
They are too expensive, and a lot of people. You say they're too expensive. The gaming groups that I'm part of on Facebook, everybody's like, "Is it wrong for me to buy this just because of the change of color?" I think a lot of people will get it because it's white. Like white seems to be the thing for living room decor. So the Series X is this big black box that hides behind my TV in my living room because it does not go with everything else. My Switch is white. The TV unit's white. Cupboards next to the TV unit is white. The TV is like chrome, so it reflects the white. The Series X is just this big black monster that sits behind the TV every now and then going beep as it turns on.
Yeah, well, so if everybody's happy, I will just sit in my corner and be a curmudgeon. But I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to be that.
Hey, you might bag yourself a cheap Series X.
That's true. But I'm not going to. But I mean, I could. I really wanted to. I wanted to buy the digital. How much is the digital? There's a bunch of numbers here, and I can't decipher any of them. Disc, all digital right now in the USA is $448 on Amazon.
Wow.
And
there's the Black Friday coming up though.
That's true. Yep. Mm-hmm. I'm sure Prime Days just happened like a week ago. I'm sure there'll be another one in 5 days.
Don't talk to me about Prime Days. I bought one thing in Prime Days and I got stuffed by £1. So
yeah. Prime Days used to be this awesome thing. Now it's like next week there'll be a Prime Day, but if you can't make that, you could be the Prime Day after that. Or, there's like 25 Prime Days now in a year.
It wasn't. I bought this. I eyed up this logbook to monitor how like my progress in the gym, where you can write down what weight and reps and stuff like that, what exercises. Cool. When I first looked at it, it was $9.99. I was like, that's expensive for a notebook that's already pre-printed. So I kind of forgot about it, and then I looked again, and it was $6.99. I was like, ooh, that's possible. Prime Day's coming up, and then on Prime Day it was $7.99. So it went up £1, but it was still £2 cheaper. So
that's fantastic. Yeah. Amazon pricing is a bit frustrating for sure. So you can get the Xbox Series S for $349 in the US right now. You can get the Xbox Series X with a disc for $599, or you can get the all digital for $448. So you save $150. I mean, anybody in the chat, is anybody buying these things? Anybody like, I'm scooping one of these up right now? Like, are we onto a second? Are we selling one? I guess you could trade one or sell one. What's the trade-in value for an Xbox right now? At
that's
GameStop,
a good question. Over here,
Game for You.
Oh, the game over here wouldn't do it. They have stopped trade-ins. So the only place I could do it over here is Cash Exchange or CEX. And I think like if I took the Xbox Series X into CEX, they'd probably offer me about £2.50.
Okay, yeah. So right now we're getting $291.50 up to $291.50 if it's in great shape, apparently. So there's your deal. You get $291.50, and then you could buy the new one for $600. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not worth. Well, it all depends. If you haven't got one and you want to buy one that's got more storage, you're not bothered about the disc, and you want a high-end console, yes, go buy it. If you're like myself and Nick, who are happy with their console, Nick is the digital Series S. I am the old school Series X. I'm happy with the storage I've got. The console works fine. I'm not fussed about, and we'll go on to talk about this, about the efficiency of the console in terms of power usage and heat kicking out and things like that. Then stick with the other than the efficiency, there is no upgrade other than the size and the lack of disc for the all digital Series X. So.
And don't you want heat that way? I mean, it's winter, so now's a great time.
I know it's fine in the UK household.
Talk to me about efficiency, Sean. I have no idea.
So all they're saying is that there is a guy. His name is Austin Evans that has done he's a very good YouTuber. Likes to strip down consoles and electronics and kind of see how they work, what the differences are, and what if they've got newer parts than others. And he's done this to the Series X. He's compared the 2022 original, skipped over the Series S for now, and then compared the new Series X to the original. The video goes on to show he does things like noise testing, heat production, power usage, and all he's found is that the efficiency of the new models are better. It's not much, but there is a pretty decent chunk that he says that they draw less power from the outlets, and stuff like that. So if you are worried, like most people are in this day and age, about your household bills and stuff and the drawing of things, if you want to go and spend $600 to save $4 in electricity, go do it.
I can tell you this: when you talk about noise, the loudest console I have in my household right now is my OG Switch. When when Noah turns that puppy on, you can hear that thing like all the way in the back of the house. It's like, I'm like, oh, is there a jet going? Like, is somebody about to take? Is the house about to just fly? Like, what's happening? Like that sucker, man. That sucker makes noise. I'm just waiting for that thing to just smoke comes out of the back of it, and I'm like, well, it was a good run. I mean, it is like I bought it. I don't know when the year the Switch came out, which I think is 2017. I believe.
Yeah.
So I bought it the year the Switch came out, like August of 2017. So not it wasn't like a day one Switch, but it was within the first 6 months for sure. So yeah, there you go. But that is the
I still have
thing.
mine. I still have mine from then. I can remember the day I bought that as well. That was a good day.
That was a good. Sean's like I could just see like
It was.
bubbles like coming up out of your head.
I was very. I was very pessimistic about the ability to swap from the handheld to the TV.
Yeah, I think
and
was.
Yeah, and we walked into Smith's, which is big toy store in the UK. Walked in and they has loads. And I said to Lindsay, I said, "Oh wow, they can't be doing really well because there's loads in stock." And the guy was like, "Oh no, we just bought more than we needed. So there's just excess stock." He says all the pre-sales have already gone. We've still got loads left. And I was like, so I asked questions like, "Have you got one on display?" I looked at it, played with it, and I was like, said to Lizzie, "This is amazing." And she's like, "Well, just get one right now." I was like, "What?" It's like, "Can I?" She's like, "Yeah, get it." So I got it with Breath of the Wild, and then didn't move for 8 days.
Yeah, I bet.
Same as I do with every Zelda game.
Mm-hmm.
Played it until my eyes bled.
Yep. So yeah, no, that was fun. Complete opposite of when the Wii U came out. When I decided not to go and get it right away, and then I changed my mind. So I went out at like 4 p.m. launch day, and I was like, "There's not going to be anything left, but I'll just go check," because I really wish I would have just pre-ordered it. So I get out there, and there's this guy. I go into Walmart, and there's this guy sitting like with his hand, like he's got his fist on his chin, just like totally glazed over, and I'm like, "Hey, I want a Wii U," and he's like, he just kind of like Vanna White's a whole stack of them, and he's like, "Sure, man." He's like, "I've been here all day. Feel free to take one." I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah." I mean, he was like, "Nothing's happening over here on these things." And that's when I knew. I was like, "Oh crap, it's gonna be."
Is that not the? I know we've kind of spurred off a little bit here.
Squirreled the crap out of this one.
Is that not a genuine worry for the Switch 2?
Of course it is.
Like they made the Wii, which was awesome for what it for its time and what it could do, its capabilities, and then they made the Wii U. Then they made the Switch, which is freaking awesome for its time and its capabilities. And it's like, are they going to Wii U the Switch 2?
Everybody looks back though and says, "Listen, the Wii U was a good console." But yeah, I mean, you're right. They have to communicate it better. They have to communicate what it is, because everybody's like, "I don't know what the hell that thing is. I got a Wii. I don't need that piece of crap." Anyways, let's get back onto the right track of frame of mind. I just mashed a bunch of stuff together there. We're talking about the partner preview, people. It's a feature story, and that's what we're supposed to be doing. And we're back on track. That's what I'm trying to say. Partner preview. Sean's going to talk about the first 3 games while I take a nap.
Yeah, the partner preview was one of those that Nick was, as it alludes to in the bio for this, that he left him shaking in his boots. He's not a big fan of horror games, and they opened pretty strong with horror games. So yeah, be prepared. If you haven't watched it yet, and you're not a fan of horror games, I'd skip the first 1, 2, 3 tiles.
Yeah.
I'd just skip through them straight away because they are all horror games. So the first one we got was Alan Wake 2. The Lake House expansion, which is coming in October 22nd. It's coming to the Xbox Series X and the Series S and the PC. This looked, as a fan of Alan Wake, I haven't played Alan Wake 2 yet because it didn't come to Game Pass, and there's this whole thing where I don't buy many games because Elden Ring kind of ruined the last big game I bought. Got really scared of it. Not scared of it. Got really fell out with it and I returned it and now can't buy premium title games from
Elden
my
Ring just
nearest
broke
GameStop.
you. They broke your ability to buy games. You're like, I can't ever do it again.
Yeah, genuine PTSD from Elden Ring. Scary. I just could never do it. Margaret, hate you. Anyway, so they got the first look into it. Very, very creepy looking. If you played Alan Wake and you enjoyed Alan Wake 2, this expansion looks like they've put a lot of work into it. It looked fantastic. Looks like it's going to play well. It looks like it's going to be another great own to the franchise. The second game that they showed was Chronos: The New Dawn. This is a mind-bending survival horror from the Bloober team. This looked awesome. Like I absolutely adored the flick between the gun battle with this deranged looking creature and the chess battle with this old lady. And the more the deranged part got scarier and bloodier, the more the guy seemed to be more covered in blood. I liked that. I want to know what the link is between that. I want to play the game for that. Absolutely hoping this comes to Game Pass, because if not, it's one that I might have to wait for it to loop around or ask for Christmas for. So that's coming in 2025. That's coming to Xbox Series X.
I will say I do agree. Like, I'm not going to play this game, but it was a fun back and forth. I totally do agree. I was like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. So,
as far as trailers go, it was a 9.5 out of 10. It was like, it drew me in, but drew me in enough to be like, what's the story? I don't understand. The gameplay elements might... I think it's going to play a little bit like Dead Space, the way that the character moved, but who knows?
Mm-hmm. Also, I really thought that old woman was going to like break out and be one of those creepy ass things. So I was like waiting for that to happen, and never did.
Yeah, turns out he did something to her head with the little... Yeah. Anyway, go watch the trailer. Fantastic trailer. Looks like it's going to be an awesome game. Can't wait to see it. And then they moved into Blindfire. And Blindfire is a first-person shooter set entirely in the dark. You have abilities that make so you can echo and point people out, and you're relying on little bits of light and shadows and colors and stuff changing to kind of see your enemies. Very, very, very good and interesting concept for a first-person arena-style shooter. That is available today in game preview. And that's on the Series X and the Series S and PC. I will probably try this. I like me a good arena shooter. Everybody that's ever listened to us knows I've played tons of Warzone, tons of Fortnite. I've tried all the ones that come out, like Overwatch and stuff like that. I try and XDefiant. I've dabbled in them all. They all have their own uniqueness to them. So yeah, but this one I will definitely be trying. It's got a very good concept in terms of in the dark. So you've got to be on your toes. You've got to be sharp. So.
Yep. I got nothing on this one. I'll take the next one. I'll take the next one. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah. Like a dragon pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. February 21st, 2025 on Xbox and PC. Hey, listen. I played about half of one Yakuza game and I kind of fell in love with it. The story is I never beat a Yakuza game. I've never beat one. I've played many. Never get to the end. So, but I mean, how can I not play this one? Like, I will probably, well, it's not on Game Pass, but it probably will be at some point. Unfortunately, this will be a loop around for me as well. I probably wouldn't put money down on it, but it'll be on, all the Yakuza games end up on Game Pass at some point. So this one will be there. So I probably won't play it day one, but at some point I want to try it. Faux show. And
it looked a ton of fun, and it looked like a typical Yakuza over the top style game. Like, they really played into the pirate theme quite a lot, and the battle action between the boats seemed very not like a real boat. It seemed to be drifting them around each other and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. It was fun. I'm down to try it. The next game is Mouse PI for Hire, coming 2025, X and S and PC. This is gold, man. I have never seen this game. You knew what it was. I did not. I saw a black and white kind of noir style-y type detective game where you shoot. I don't know what you're shooting. You're shooting stuff, and it's very like old school cartoony look to it, and I'm all in.
Yeah,
I want to play it.
Imagine Cuphead style graphics with the mouse is looking like Steamboat Willie, but the background's not quite drawn in the same like style, and it's all like first person and very like Cuphead cartoony style animations with the reloading, the firing of the gun. Like, I liked it when you fired like one of the rifles you fired, like the barrel just waved around. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, this one.
But yeah, I've seen this. I've kind of seen this circulate around on TikTok. That's where I saw it, and I've always wanted to give it a try. But obviously, not having the gaming setup to play on Steam, which I think is where it is potentially. I've not been able to get to it. So, but yeah, this is like I agree with you and what you've written in the doc. This is gold. So I am all over it. This is one that I will probably be spending some money on.
And yes, you are right. It's currently available on Steam if you can't wait for it. So, oh wait, no, it's not. I'm sorry. This game is not yet available on Steam. Planned release for date for 2025.
Oh,
sorry.
So maybe what I'm saying is just adverts and game testing. Yeah, that's interesting.
Okay. What's next? Subnautica 2 early access coming 2025. I've never played one. I never got around to the one on the first one on when it came to Game Pass. So I'd really like to play this one, and it's coming to Game Pass. So why not?
Yep, a good friend of mine, big horror survival streamer, Super King Andy. If you want to go and find him, he did a Subnautica. Few runs with it, and it's a little bit jumpy in places, but jumpy in the fact that like the Kraken can just appear and things like that, and all the not subterranean, but the subnautical creatures out there. So yeah, this is something I downloaded it to give it a try and never got around to it. So I'd be happy for this, and this is coming, like you said, to Game Pass. So
cool. Next, Animal Well, available today, X and S. Most important thing you need to know about this game, Sean, they mentioned the word shadow 21 times in I don't know, couldn't have been more than 40 seconds.
Yeah. So sometimes the shadow is a shadow of a shadow.
That's it. That's an exact line. That wasn't exaggerated in any way. That's an exact line. Yeah. I don't really know what to think about this game. I've heard good things about it from some podcasters that I listen to, but I have never played it, and I really could not on a rating of trailers. I was more confused than anything else. I think they were.
Yeah, and I think that's what they.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think that's what they want you to be, is confused with this. They confused to the point that you're drawn in to try it to get around the confusion. I would like to try it because it's got it screams Metroidvania.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
And that side scrolling 16, 18, 8-bit kind of design, but you seem to have different abilities that you had to scroll through, gives levels of depth that have drawn me in slightly.
Yeah, I might love it, but the trailer did not sell me on it, and being confused did not sell me to go play it. I think they really wanted people. They were banking on the fact that people knew what it was, because I have heard a lot of people talk about it, but it's never been explained to me, and it wasn't in this trailer either. So
yeah, it's a Game of the Year contender. I don't know if I said, but apparently it's up there for the Game of the Year contention. So it's one that I think I'd like to play more on the Switch than I'd like to play on the Series X and S, but that's only down to the gameplay style,
gotcha.
And the fact that I could play it undocked and stuff like that, where not being able to currently play my purchased games on a cloud could change in the future. I can't do. But.
Yeah. Eden Zero. Oh yeah, go ahead. You can take over.
Yeah, Eden Zero is one that, and it's nothing to do with the game, but I played a lot of Devil May Cry when I was younger, to the point where I think I played that much of that style of game that I just can't get into those mass hack and slash games.
But that's what it is. So if that's what you like, then go look at the trailer. I'm out on it, but that doesn't mean anything. Could be all for you.
Yeah, so it's based on the Hiro Mishima manga and the anime series of the same name, so Eden Zero. So if you're a big fan of that, of the graphic novels and the animated series, then you'll love it.
Mm-hmm. You want me to go?
Sorry, I was just waiting for the random vehicle noises outside. Somebody with a loud ass car just decided to drive past the house.
Gotcha.
So didn't know if anybody could hear it. So
I could not miss.
I think next. Yeah, you take the next one.
We really should have planned this out better, Sean. If only we should have been podcasting for a while. That'd been great.
So
Mistfall Hunter coming 2025 XS on the X and the S and on PC. I thought it looked very cool. Like, I mean, the style of this game is sweet. The mechanics, not really for me. But you know, if it's like, well, and I also couldn't tell if it was more. I couldn't figure out if it was like a Monster Hunter type game or if it was more like a story action RPG type game. Like, I wasn't 100% sure, but you're fighting a lot of big monsters, that's for sure, and they look very cool. That's what I got out of it.
Sorry, I'm just moving a dog around. My knee has decided it wants to really hurt to move slowly. There we go. I'm trying to get comfortable. Whew.
I'm sorry.
That's a lot of pain. I've been sat in the same position for a while, so it kind of locks and it gets really stiff. Mm-hmm. So,
are you interested in this?
No, unfortunately not. That
no, he says.
It's just I like the anime art style. Like, I was a big fan of Dragon Ball Z. Watched Dragon Ball Z from start to finish. Absolutely adored it. Love the art style. Like to draw in the art style. Emily, my daughter, draws in the art style. She loves the graphic novels and stuff like that. She's big on them. The games I can't play because they're just, it's just fast paced, button, and there's no. I don't get enjoyment from playing those style of games. So when I see them come up and like when I was watching the partner preview, I just get like I either pick up the phone and start scrolling, trying to read more about the games that I have been interested in while I wait for them to pass. Which is nothing about the developers and stuff like that. It's just my personal taste. You might think completely opposite, and like I'll talk about Wheel World in a minute, and you'll be like, you really got interested in Wheel World, you freak. Why? When there was all these other games. So be it. Come find me. I don't mind. But it's just not for me.
Well, intro us into Wheel World, my friend.
So I'm super excited about this. This is it Lonely Mountains Downhill has disappeared off the service. And then they're going to introduce this one in early 2025. And I loved Lonely Mountains Downhill. It was just this really crazy box style mountain bike game where you were trying to get down the hill as fast as possible. Some of them were in the night, some of the day. This just screamed to me for like third person 3D style bicycle racing with all the weirdness that came with all the different frames. There were frames that were all mixed matches of different bikes. There was a hot dog frame. There was a human frame. I saw the human bike frame, and I thought that was really funny.
Very weird because you're like riding a human. I don't know. I was like, I only showed it for a hot second for good reason.
You've never ridden a human?
Not going anywhere near it. You just keep talking about your awesome game.
But I liked the art style. I like the shell shaded art style and the craziness. And I wanted to understand why they had this floating skull that was there and things like that. So yeah, I'm interested. Just to give it a go and have fun with it. So and that's all I did with Lonely Mountains Downhill. Again, an indie game which just on the surface didn't look like much, but when I played it had a lot of repeated gameplay to it, and I'm assuming this is going to have something exactly the same. So,
yeah, I was like, oh, this, I'd give this a go, kind of thing. Like, I don't know, but then at the end, they really kind of alluded to like more of a story to it. It was like a mystery at the end, and I thought, oh, because at first I really thought it was more of like not a GTA. What is it? Is it like Cruising USA where you just kind of drive around and you find races and then you do the race and then, that's pretty much the game. Yeah. I really thought it was more like that just with bikes, which is cool. I'm not against it. I just wasn't sure it would really be for me. But if there's like somehow a story built in, then I could see really getting into it. So, yeah. Phasmophobia, October 29th. So in like 12 days. It's on X and S, and it's a nope. So what do you think, Sean? Are you all about it? And not on Game Pass.
No, it's on Game Pass. This has all the feels of Outlast. So if you played Outlast and Outlast 2, where you were kind of the reporter that was going in, and all you had was the camcorder, and you were, documenting what you were seeing in the settings that those games are set in, that's very similar to this. Apart from you are a ghost hunter, so you have like the only thing I can think is like they were Ghostbusters. They have the eco meter, the and that kind of stuff. They had flashlights, and there was weird and stuff happening around. So if you imagine the Outlast style gameplay, but with the Silent Hill style details in terms of how the game looks and plays and the creepiness to it, this is where this sits. And I believe it's made by some of the people that helped design the stuff for Silent Hill. So if you're a big fan of the Silent Hill franchise and you want a creepy game where you kind of look around and you can't fight against things, it's more running and hiding, I guess, then this is for you. I'm not certain. I like a horror game, but Outlast scared the living shit out of me.
Did.
So
you were pretty like, nah, I'm out.
I like a horror game, but I like to be able to defend myself. In Outlast, where you're being chased by like the really weird, creepy people of the insane asylum, and you can't do anything but hide. I'm like, no. Especially when you like start running into doors that are locked that weren't locked, and you have to very quickly find a path. And I'm like, no, it's scaring me. Anxiety levels through the roof. Not for me. Mm-hmm. Sorry.
Yep. Not for me either. No surprise. The Legend of Babu.
I like to watch people play those games.
Yeah, that is fun. The Legend of Babu 2025. It's on the XNS. I wish and hope this does come to Game Pass. But even if it doesn't, I could still see myself buying it. The game mechanics look amazing. The graphics look meh. I hope they're doing some work on those. But yeah, I'll play it for the game mechanics, by just in and of themselves.
Yep, it had all the elements of like climbing around, platformy stuff like Tomb Raider, but had the feel of Zelda because you were playing as a young child and you had the adventure side of things. So yeah, I agree. I didn't mind the graphics. It kind of played into the being playing as a younger child start kind of stuff, and we grew up on N64 gameplay and graphics, so you know we can't say much about bad graphics.
Well, that's true, but they weren't bad at the time. So the problem was I couldn't tell if it was an art style. That's the problem. For me in this with the graphics, and why I pointed them out. I really couldn't tell, is it art style or is it just like the graphics need work? Like it didn't jump over to that line. Like, I mean, I'm playing Core Keeper. Those graphics are awful in and of themselves, but they have the pixelated style. You can tell it's kind of the way they're going. That's what they're going for. This kind of it straddled the line of like trying to be something, but maybe trying to be an art style. And I just was confused. So, yeah. But that's that. Wu Chang Fallen Feathers 2025. Also, Game Pass. This one is on Game Pass. It's X and S, and it's going to be on PC. Not for me. Kind of looked like it was a Monster Hunter-esque, is what I was thinking.
Yeah, and I think I tried a Monster Hunter game from Game Pass and didn't get very far. I can remember maybe doing the tutorial, walking around trying to buy things, and then I was just like, nope, this is too much like...
Yeah,
the stuff that I don't like. So
yep. No, it wasn't for me. All these like big monster fightery games, I always think I want to play or I might like, and then sometimes I do like them. There was one that came out on Game Pass a while ago. Actually, it was out by EA, and I cannot think of what it was called.
Is that not the action RPG that you got right into?
No.
Was it Iodine Chronicles? Something like that?
No. This was a Monster Hunter game. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Anyways, and I got it. I did like it, but it's like then I fall out of it right away, and then I just kind of move along. Oh, holy crap! Is it literally called Monster Hunter? No, that can't be right. Wild Hearts. That was it. Yeah. So, anyways,
fair enough.
Yeah.
And then they finished the game. They finished on was Firebreak. Nick's written here that it's a nope for him. I don't know if that's because of the style of gameplay, with it being a bit creepy, weird, and stuff. Or
it just didn't do anything for me. I mean, it wasn't that it was creepy, although it is a little creepy, but it just didn't it didn't do anything for me.
Yeah. So this is from Remedy, and Remedy are known for great first. Single player masterpieces, but this is a PvE, so player versus environment game. It's a free player online multiplayer game. It's a little bit of a spin-off from Control in terms of the environment that you are in, and you have to team up and basically take on the horrors of an old house with an appropriately weird weaponry is what they have listed here. So it looked like funny, fast action pace. It did look like there was an element of you definitely had to have some kind of be able to play co-op and talk between yourselves about how you were going to approach things depending on the style of enemy and stuff like that. So, yeah, one to watch. I'm not entirely sure because obviously if it is an online free-player co-op and you're a no, then the only two other people that I play with are currently so far into Grand Theft Auto Online, it'd be impossible to pull them from that. So that's Lucy and Gaz.
I mean,
yeah.
I'd try it. The problem is normally in those environments, you're like, oh my gosh, why did I invite this guy to even play? He's worthless. I'd rather not have
I don't know. We've had... What was it? What was that? We played for Extra Life, that horror-y style.
Blood something or other. Something or other blood. Yeah, that game.
Yeah, that was funny. I think our not knowing what we were doing and our differences in level of experience of those style of games was quite funny to watch and play.
Can you imagine? I mean, just think how many times we're like, I don't remember. I'm not real sure. Can you imagine if we podcast in like 20 years? We're just going to be like, remember that thing? I don't. Do you? No, I don't either. Yeah, that was funny though, wasn't it? Yeah, that was great. On to the next topic. What's the next topic? I don't remember. I don't either. Wasn't it great? This is going to be how our podcast goes.
Old age, forgetfulness starts to kick in.
It'll be great. It'll be fantastic. All right. We have to do the things that podcasters do because it's like a thing you have to do. You have to rate the preview because that's what everybody does. And if we didn't do it, we'd be weird. We don't want to be weirder than we already are. So what do you rate the partner preview of October 2024?
I give it, and for reasons why we have given other ones lower scores, I have given this an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10?
And that is because we have games that are available to try in early access. We have games that are available today. We have things like Animal Well, which is Game of the Year contender Shadow Drop. The same with Firebreak. Sorry, not Firebreak. Blind Fire. Just randomly get Shadow Dropped. So it's given us stuff to play. It was very well presented. Started out heavy with Alan Wake 2 and stuff like that. Very high level, high quality games. Progressed into the indie games and the wacky and the wonderful, like Dragon, Pirate, Yakuza in Hawaii. Bizarre combination of a game, but fantastic direction for the developers and the publishers to take because it has just made it stand out, especially with all the other ones that are around it. We've got Mouse PI coming, which is a game that I'm eagerly awaiting. Lots of stuff to play, lots of different genres to play. Yeah, pretty solid. And there wasn't a massive, like, here's the developer talking about the game, and 20 minutes later, he finally kind of finished. It said, if you want to find out more, there was a QR code for you to scan in the bottom corner, which would take you to the Xbox Wire website, and you could read and look at an article and watch a video about how the game was made and developed. They gave you the direction to go if you wanted to know more, but didn't, like, make you listen to it. It was done. Half an hour long. Fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't disagree with you, Sean. I mean... Yeah, I might even give it an 8.5 out of 10, to be honest. Because I do think the time was right. It was the right amount of time. I was the only thing that's missing, and I don't know, Alan Wake's probably a big drop. Bloober Team's a big team, so I'm sure there's a bunch of people. The right people are like freaking over the moon about this partner preview, right? But that's how all these always are. Like if it's for you, or if they're more that's for you or not for you. But I think there's a little bit of something here for everybody. No matter who you are, you can at least scrape 3 or 4 games out of here that you absolutely will love. 3, what has he got? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 games. So 15 games, you can probably scrape 3 out of here that you'll really like.
There's 4 and there's 5 coming to Game Pass, all of different genres to try.
Yep.
Subnautica 2. If Subnautica 2 is anything like Subnautica, it's going to be a very big game to play. So it'll devour a lot of time. So survival kind of game as well. So be interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd give it 8.5 out of 10. It was pretty good. Anything else on this before we move on to what we've been playing in our dashboard?
Nope, nothing. Like I said, I think I've given my opinion on everything that I can give opinions on. Obviously, as games come out and we try them, I will go back and give more opinions.
More opinions. All right, on to the dashboard, which is where we talk about what we've been playing, or what we want to be playing here pretty soon. So, Sean, what have you been playing, my man?
So, as I said last week, I hadn't had chance to get to Mad Streets or Inscription. I have now played Mad Streets and Inscription. Mad Streets is not great, in my opinion. Don't like to beat on a game, especially one that's made for beating on people, but it was just, as far as environmentally, grapple-y style physics games go, it wasn't very good. There are better ones out there. Gang beats this hands down. I think I played 6 different games, and they do have different styles. So like one of them, you had to throw bottles at a bouncer. Another one, you had to keep the football hooligans from entering the pub, and you were basically just punching and kicking and throwing objects at them. Great in terms of variety of stuff that you're doing, bad in terms of the gameplay wasn't great. So great idea, poor execution.
Sure.
That's the kind of thing I'm going to say.
Yeah.
So try that. And then I tried Inscription. Inscription is freaking ace. There is a game, I can't remember, something roulette, and I can't remember the name of it, but basically you sat in front of a person, and they you had to cock a gun and pull the trigger and point it at yourself. Really cool game. I watched a lot of it on YouTube, stuff like that. And you could do things kind of like skip your go to up and lower the chances of things like that, and like you got so many blank shells. It gives me, so Inscription isn't anything like that, but it's a lot like that. It's giving me the same feels. You are sat on a table opposite this non-faced, eyes in the dark kind of figure, and you are playing. You're wandering through a scenario that he is developing in front of you. You have to draw cards to try and beat his cards. Now you can do things like you have a pair of pliers, and the idea is that when you do damage to him, he drops nuggets of gold in the scales, and you've got to tip the scales all the way over towards him to beat him and carry on. So you can pick up a pair of pliers, pull your own tooth out and drop it in. That kind of tips the scales. So there's lots of things like that you can do. For you to play some cards, you have to put a squirrel down and then sacrifice the squirrel to get drops of blood, which allow you to then put down other cards that can do damage. Or you can use the squirrels as defense, and you get bone chips. When you collect so many bone chips, you can use other cards. Really interesting game, very difficult. But you can also come away from the table, and there's puzzles that you can solve, which can give you different cards to help you out. There's this whole tub of green goo that talks to you and kind of tries to give you information, but at the same time is in a constant state of hurt, so it's just screaming in pain. Stupidly weird game, but I was really drawn into it and played a lot of it, but I can't get past the second world.
Wow.
The card mechanics, I'm spending too much time playing the game and trying to figure out what other things do and doing the puzzles in the back of the head and stuff like that. That the card mechanics in terms of what different cards do what and shift around, I hadn't figured out. And you've got to kind of figure those patterns out and figure out the strengths and weaknesses of each card to better your opponent. And there's a lot of it. It's very much a roguelike as well. So if your candles get extinguished, you don't die, locks you in a room, gives you a blank card, and you turn it into your death card, which you can name. You can give it different attributes from the cards that are in your deck as you kind of get, return back to the beginning. And you have a chance of drawing that card as you go on, carry on and play. So it's a roguelike in that sense.
Sure.
So
very interesting.
But yeah, so it's I don't think I've given it justice on how I've described it, but it's a very interesting game to try. It's not very scary. It's a bit weird, but it's not scary.
Sure.
Like Logan came in and I was playing it, and he was like, "What's this? What's that? What's the other?" There's no like real scariness to it. Apparently, his hand might come up, and his hand looks a little bit like a scary witch's hand, but that's about it.
Okay.
So, yeah. And then Donut County, that came back to Game Pass. I was intrigued by it the first time around, never got around to playing it, so I thought I'd give it a try. Basically, drag a hole around, suck everything into the hole, make the hole bigger, so bigger things into the hole, move on to a different stage. Fun, but I think I played it for 20 minutes, and then I was actually falling asleep. The music's quite relaxing, and you're not really having to concentrate on much apart from just guide the hole around, and I was pretty tired, and I started to kind of doze off.
Sure.
Probably go back to it maybe this weekend with the kids, because I think Logan will find it funny, because at some point there's like a raccoon riding a scooter that you kind of suck into a hole. I think he'll find that funny.
He will. I mean, I think yep. I think Donut County, I think any kid would find Donut County fun. It's just like, you're just sucking stuff in.
Yep. And then I met with my friend Gaz for a while, who I used to play this game online with quite a lot, and that's GTA 5 online. He was telling me all this cool stuff that's been added, different things. It's had a buff with the graphics, so it does look a lot better and plays a lot clearer. They've now added animals into the online and stuff like that. And there's lots of cool stuff you can do with them in terms of like, you have to go take pictures of different animals and submit them, and you get cash rewards for taking pictures of animals and things. So I've been playing that. Just trying to make some money to buy another business. But just it's been nice to hang out with Lucy and Gaz. So I have not spoken to them for a while. Well, at least I haven't spoken to Lucy for a while. I've spoken to Gaz quite a bit. So
cool. Anything else?
Nope, that's it. I've been trying to get Emily to play Zelda, but she's still playing Link's Awakening, so she's not ready to move on yet.
Gotcha. Well, I've been playing Zelda. Been playing that, not as much as I'd like, but I've been playing that. I've also been playing Core Keeper, and that's it. And that I'm not really gonna expound on those, because I've talked about them for like a month now, and so I don't really have anything else to say about them. And what am I gonna be playing next week? Probably more of those things. So I'm sorry, I'm a really lame podcast co-host, but that's where I'm at. So
you are far from a lame podcast co-host, but I know that when you get into a groove with a game like Car Keeper, and then like a big Nintendo game comes out like Zelda, that the kids play a lot, so you're drawn in that way. What I am excited for is a new Mario Party.
That's true. Are you getting it?
Yeah, I'll probably get it. I'll get it physical though.
Okay.
Even though that's pointless nowadays because I've got nowhere I can trade it in, so I'll probably get it. No, I'll get it physical because the kids can then take it out and play it on a different,
much easier
Switch.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, we're gonna we've got the other Mario parties that have been out on the Switch, and we do have like nights where we play them together.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and it's online multiplayer, so I can hang out and play with you if you get it.
That's true. You're selling me on it. I might. I wasn't gonna, but now I just might. I'm more might than not at this point. And I was probably more not than might before we had this conversation. Right.
There's just more elements to this one. The fact that it's better online. There's more boards. There's different stuff you can do in the game that isn't just playing the mini games. So.
Yeah, my kids love playing soccer and air hockey, and I don't know. There's that one place you go in the most, I think it's the most recent, and you can play all these little mini games. They love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And they brought back all the old mini games as well, which was fun. So.
Cool. Yeah. So I might be getting Mario Party now. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. I'm just kidding.
I'd rather get Mario Party than the new Mario and Luigi game, just because it's single player and.
Yeah, what's
there you go.
You're not squirreling me there, but I could go on a long tangent about that, but we're not going to do it because I'm not going to do it. All right. Next, what's next? What are we supposed to do next? Oh yeah, Game Pass headlines, where we talk about the Game Pass games that are out this week and coming out next week. And this works out really pretty well because next week Sean should have. I mean, that's really Sean's week for Game Pass. So I get to talk about what came out this week. Starting with your butthole. That's right, South Park, The Fractured Butthole. Came out October 16th, Cloud Console PC, from the creators of none other than South Park, Trey Parker, Matt Stone. Comes South Park, The Fractured Butthole. A sequel to 2014's award-winning South Park, The Stick of Truth. Players will assume the role of the new kid and join South Park's favorite Stan, Kyle, Kenny, and Cartman in this hilarious and outrageous RPG adventure. Donut County. Oh, by the way, that came out October 15th or 16th. I don't know if I said that. That came out today. Donut County, Cloud Console PC. Sean pretty much already explained this, so we'll just skip over that. But it's out now. You can play it on Game Pass. And then Mech Warrior 5 Clans. This wasn't a day one game. Came to Cloud, PC, and Xbox Series X and S. Play it day one, which is today, in Mech Warrior 5 The Clans. Players become new Smoke Jaguar pilots in the clan Invasion of the Inner Sphere. Lead a 5 mech star squad across diverse planets, engaging in an expansive campaign with immersive gameplay and intricate combat, armed with customizable battle mechs featuring cutting-edge technologies. Players explore a wealth of tactical options and strategic possibilities. There you go. That's what's out this week. So one day one game and 2 pretty classic games, to be honest. And Sean, What's out next week?
Oh, wow. Next week, there's a little bit of stuff to this. Bit of chunk to this. But out next week, October 25th, which is next Friday. Just because a big game like this comes out on Friday, so everyone can play all weekend. Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Coming to console, PC, and cloud.
Yeah, man.
Shock that it's coming to the cloud. I was not expecting that at all. But it's coming to cloud. So, I don't need to say a right lot about Black Ops 6. Anybody that has been excited about Black Ops 6 has known about Black Ops 6. You can play zombies now at the moment. Everything else is coming out later. Squeak, squeak,
Rex
squeak.
is super excited for it. He gives it 3 squeaks. Rex gives it 3 squeaks.
3 squeaks and a shake of his nub.
There you go.
Yeah, his tail's docked because he was a working dog. His tail was docked, so he just has this little tiny nub of a tail. I know. I'm just kidding. Anyway, so Black Ops 6 is an action thriller with a mind-bending narrative and unbound by the rules of engagement. There you go. I'm going to say that. It has campaign, it has multiplayer, and it has the return of round-based zombies. All that's coming to that. Where's my other link? I put a link in here because we shall report on release times. So the release date is obviously October 25th, 2024. It will be available midnight local time for is what I'm reading it as, but the PC launch times looks completely different. So October 24th, Los Angeles 2100, Mexico City 2200, New York is going to get it at exactly 00 EDT, and then so on and so forth. So depending on your time zone, that's how it's going to work. What's up?
You're kind of breaking up a bit. So I don't know if it's when you went to that website. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's probably because I went to that website. But basically, everything is. I'm back now and in.
You're good. You're
crystal
good
clear.
You're good.
All right, cool. So I'm going to mumble a little bit while I open it up on my phone rather than that. So yeah, so midnight wherever you are, basically, or midnight EDT. So 5 a.m. for us in the UK, 2300 for the people who are central, but for Nick, midnight EDT.
Gotcha.
Obviously, it's available to preload. I've had it preloaded for a while now, which is why you can play zombies. And console players, you'll need Xbox Game Pass Ultimate to play Black Ops 6. If you are Game Pass Core or Game Pass Standard, you will not be able to play it at launch. Obviously, for Standard, it might come a little bit later down the line, but if you want to play this day one, you have to have Ultimate. or because it comes to PC Game Pass, at least get PC Game Pass if you're going to play it on a PC. So that's enough about Black Ops 6. This is where it gets interesting for me. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 is coming to the cloud October 25th. So if you have Game Pass Ultimate, you can play Xbox Modern Warfare 3, the campaign only, I believe, on cloud. And then also, October 25th, to Game Pass Ultimate people only, coming to the cloud, is Call of Duty Warzone. Now, I don't know how well that will play via the cloud. Obviously, huge online game to play. Huge maps. Probably going to have pretty decent internet if you want to be streaming it via cloud and playing it online at the same time.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
But next week it's all about Call of Duty. So whether that you want to play Black Ops 6, you want to dabble your hands in Modern Warfare 3 via the cloud, or you're sat on the sofa, your missus is watching Strictly Come Dancing on the TV, and you're like, I really don't want to watch this. I'm going to play some Call of Duty Warzone. I can do it via the clouds, grab the backbone, stick your headphones on and go for it. But next week seems to be all about the Call of Duty.
That's awesome. Good.
So I think that's I have listed some stuff here for the week after next. I mean, a little insight to that is Dead Island 2 is coming to the PC, StarCraft Remastered is also coming to PC, and so is StarCraft 2. But we'll talk more in depth about those next week.
Man, I used to play StarCraft a ton, but I never played it on... I've always played it... Oh, it's PC only. Okay. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, that's where I played it. I was like, wow, I've only played it on the PC. Oh, that's right where it's at. Okay, cool. Anyways, yeah, we'll talk about that later. What's leaving, sir?
So October 31st, which I believe is Halloween. So these things are running away from all the ghouls and goblins that are going to be out there. Frog Detective, the entire mystery, is leaving the console, cloud, and PC. Headbangers is leaving cloud, console, and PC. In fact, everything's leaving cloud, console, and PC. So, yep. Incolinate.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. And Lonely Mountains Downhill is leaving. And then, to upset Nick, because he absolutely loved this, Minico's Night Market. We say goodbye to Bobo on the 31st of October.
We do. It's sad. But, I mean, I got it. I beat it. I'm happy about that. So, yeah. It is a really fun game. There's a lot of good games. Well, I don't know if they're good. There's a lot of iconic games. Let me put it that way. I mean, yeah. Lonely Mountains Downhill. You really like that one. Inkelnati, I remember that. That's a card game. The turn-based card game. That was an interesting game. Headbangers is the pigeon game. Is that correct? Is that the pigeon game?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Rhythmic headbanging game, which actually hasn't been there for very long. I'd say it's only been on there for about 6 months.
Okay. Yeah. It's the Rhythmic Royale Headbanger Pigeon game. Yeah. So I don't know if they're all good games. I didn't get that much into the pigeon game. The pigeon game, I thought Headbangers was really hard, to be honest. And then I don't know that I played Frog Detective. But anyways.
Yep.
As Sean, somebody here always says that you have until Halloween night to beat them or buy them to get your 20% off. Past that, you're going to pay full price. Or, like we say,
I am seriously considering
it'll go on sale.
Buying Lonely Mountains Downhill.
Is that on Switch? Do you know?
I'm not entirely certain. But I know it's one of those games where, like, if there was nothing else that I wanted to play and I had half an hour and I just wanted to take my brain out, I'd play that.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I remember you loved that game.
Yep. In fact, I think if you watch the stream starting soon, there is a video clip of Lonely Downhill. So yeah,
there is. It is for $20 on Switch. So you got that option too, if you want it on the go.
Find out which one's cheaper.
I don't blame you there. See if there's a Switch tax, because there usually is.
It could be cheap. It could be on the go if we get cloud games for games that you've purchased.
Touche.
Yeah. So yeah. But I think that's it. That's everything for this week. That's all the news, all the gossip, all the scope. We had a lot from the partner preview, which was nice. It's a nice way to kind of decorate the end of the year and show us a couple of the games that weren't mentioned during the year that are coming out later or early 2025 or late 2025, depending on timings.
Yep, I agree.
Cool. So yeah, I think it's good. That wraps everything up. If you want to follow us on social media platforms, you can do over on X. I am Sean Abbott. Nick is at Nick10Do. So that's Nick10Do because he's a big Nintendo fan. You can follow the main channel, which is VGT Gaming News. And if you've got any questions, any suggestions, or you just want to share your thoughts, feelings of the partner proof, you can do. You can send us an email at team@vgt.gg. That's team@vgt.gg. Lastly, thank you for everybody that came. Candyman88 and Brian for joining us in the chat this evening. Thank you very much for turning up, guys. It's always very nice. Everyone else, thank you very much for watching. Don't be scared to chat next week. And until next time, guys, we'll see you later.
See you later, guys.